It seems to be that the Gomu Gomu No Mi is more than we thought. It seemed to be just a regular fruit that Shanks had in a treasure chest on their random adventures off to the sea, and we really didn't know where it came from. It was our first introduction to devil fruits anyway, so we didn't know anything. We didn't know anything about this fruit, and at first glance, it seems like a normal, it's not a special fruit. You just turn into rubber, and you can stretch around, and you kind of have to be creative with the fruit, so no one really took it as seriously as we do now, due to the latest reveal that we got, that the fruit had been stolen. Now, there's something I want us to focus on here, because there's a precedent of fruits being stolen. There's a precedent of the Marines / the world government being interested in specific devil fruits. So the real question I want to ask you guys is, why is the Gomu Gomu No Mi so important that it would cause someone like Who's Who to be imprisoned for making a mistake and having it stolen? Why? There's importance to it. Now, we have precedent for this. So let's go back to Dressrosa and let's talk about the Opi Opi No Mi. Now, with the Opi Opi No Mi, the Marines wanted this fruit. They were willing to pay 5 billion berries for this fruit. That's a higher bounty. That's higher than Kaido, Big Mom, Shanks, and Whitebeard's bounties. That's insane. But the reason is because there's great importance to it. It's said that in the past there was a doctor who used the Opi Opi No Mi and performed numerous miracles and great surgeries of multiple kinds. And there's also something special about this fruit that Doflamingo knew, and I would be very shocked if the Marines didn't know. Now, I think it's very important to mention, the Marines were the ones who wanted this fruit. At least that's what was mentioned. It was the Marines. So, we know for a fact that with this fruit, you can perform the eternal youth surgery, sacrifice your life for the sake of someone who wants to be, eternally youthful. That was why that fruit was so sought after. That's why Doflamingo intercepted that deal, because it was going to be sold by a pirate to the Marines, because they brokered it. The pirate himself actually didn't know how great the fruit was. He just thought, oh yeah, man, that's a lot of money. I'll take that. So it seems to be, as long as there's knowledge there, the Marines will go out of their way to transport these devil fruits back and forth throughout what means. So the key here is the importance of the fruit and what it can mean. And also think about the entity themselves. If it's the Marines, they're probably going to try and use it for, give it to Vegapunk or give it to one of their scientists. Something to really help out the Marines and their cause and the way they can protect the world. Now, with the Gomu Gomu No Mi, there's a few differences. One, the fruit was already in the hands of the world government. It was stolen. Two, it wasn't the Marines. It was the government. It was a government ship, which means the implications of this fruit has potential to shake the balance of the world, because the world government is focused on keeping the balance, keeping everything the way it is. And if it took Shanks and Lucky Roo, who most likely stole it, to take it from them. One, why did Shanks steal it? I'll get to that later. But what's important here is that the world government wanted this fruit, and they specifically tasked a CP9 agent who is said to rival Rob Lucci to guard it. That's something that's extremely important. So why would they go to these lengths? What is it about this fruit that would make them want to do all this, transport it with a government ship, have a CP9 agent guard it as well, unless there's something that implies that it either has something to do with the balance of the world, or there's a few possibilities that could also happen. One, it could be something tied to Joy Boy. That's what a lot of people are saying. It could be Roger's old fruit. It could be something that is tied to its innate abilities. And this is why I was talking about the Opi Opi No Mi. The Opi Opi No Mi has something very special about it that can be performed. So what if that's the same with the Gum Gum fruit? What if there's something involved with the awakening that the government don't want falling into enemy hands? That could be the case as well. Now, what could these special properties be? Honestly, I have no idea. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is a theory video, but this one, I'm racking my brain here. Like, what could be within that awakening to cause such mass concern? But I think the point is that the fruit itself now has so much more meaning than what it had before. Now, I would say this. It makes the most sense that the fruit could be part of a prophecy. There could be a prophecy that says, say, the boy who eats the Gum Gum fruit or the man made of rubber did such and such, and it led to the imbalance of the world. It led to a prophecy of Joy Boy being fulfilled. There's a lot of things that could come from the prophecy, but I actually think it might be a prophecy thing. You know, with poneglyphs, they have prophecies written on poneglyphs and all kinds of things like that. So it could be a prophecy thing. And if it is, then people are starting to get concerned. Oh boy, Luffy's tied to fate, destiny. No, we can't have this anymore. Now, guys, I want you guys to understand something, and this is really important. Me and Ohara talked about this on the Luffy Cannot Be Joy Boy video, where Ohara went into depth about how destiny isn't really that bad of a thing. It's actually normal. Inherited will is almost the same thing as destiny. Ace inherited the will of Roger. Luffy inherited the will of Shanks and Roger. Everybody inherits someone else's dream. Dreams never end. Dreams never die. That's been the theme of One Piece for as long as we can remember. It's not like Naruto. It's not like Ashura and Indra. Settle down. It's not. So I need you guys to calm down. What Oda is doing with this Gum Gum fruit reveal is that it's showing us that Luffy has a lot more ties to his story and outside influences to his stories than we first thought. But Oda has been slowly and intricately building up this inherited will theme, this destiny theme, this fate theme for a while now. It's been around for a long time. Look at Whitebeard's speech. You're not the one Roger is waiting for. I mean, guys, that's one of the greatest speeches we had in One Piece. So fate, themes, destiny has always been here, and it's always going to be a part of Luffy's story. So the sooner we accept it, or the sooner we actually stop being idiots and understanding this has been part of the story for so long, the better we're going to be able to accept this news. This is normal. This is how it should be. So don't get concerned about this. So if the Gomu Gomu no Mi is actually a prophecy, it's a prophecy fruit, we have nothing to be concerned about. Now the question is how is this going to tie into the story? Now, I would be very disappointed if it was Roger's old fruit, just because, one, if it was Roger's old fruit, Whitebeard would have said something. Everyone who Garp would have said something. You wouldn't think Garp would say, nigga, why do you have Roger's fruit? They would have said something about that. So it can't be Garp. It can't be Roger. You got to rule out that possibility now. It absolutely cannot be Roger. Get Roger out. So we're canceling that. That's gone. Zebek, I don't know about Zebek, because again, Whitebeard would have said something, Garp would have said something. Rocks was secret, so I guess they weren't going to talk about it, but we would have at least had some subtle hints about the fruit, and the only hint we got was from Lucci, where he mentioned, hey, I know an idiot who'd be very interested in meeting you and understanding about you, because, you know, I remember the streets was talking, bro, you should not have let that Gomu Gomu no Mi fruit go, and the world government wants this fruit for a reason. So I'm telling you right now, just to reaffirm my point, it is Joy Boy. It has to deal with Joy Boy, it has to deal with a prophecy. It's one of those two things to me, and that's really it. An awakening, again, it's like, what could Oda do with a rubber fruit where its awakening is so important that it would cause mass concern about a special ability that it has? Now, if it's the key to beating Kaido, I mean, God, Oda, you better have something planned, something in your bag that's planned, because I don't know where you're going with that one. But I think what's also important as well is you notice that Shanks and Lucky Roo, and I think it was in chapter 1, where they had mentioned that the fruit is missing. He said, oh, the fruit that we stole from the enemy. Shanks's position in this is very interesting. It's very interesting. And I think Shanks' role in this is bigger than we think. I think Shanks' role in this is also tied to the fate of Luffy. But we'll save that for another video. Yo everybody, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe here to get the latest from the channel. Also check out some other videos that might suit your specific tastes.